AITA for not inviting my friend's husband to dinner because he eats way too much. My friend has been married for a year now to her firefighter husband. She is the only one in the friend group that is married. I usually host dinners every couple of months, and we are going to do a late one for the holidays on Friday. I usually invite him, but money has gotten tight due to the holidays and he eats so much. I understand why, but it always results in my having to double recipes or I run out of food. So this time I told everyone that I want to just do a girls' night. This means my friend's husband is not invited. If he isn't there, that there is enough food for everyone without double recipes. She called me up asking why I am doing a girls' night. I told her the truth, that I can't afford to make double for dinner and her husband eats a lot. She called me a jag-off, and now she is telling my friends why. Everyone is split and no one is offering to help with the food bill. Edit. I will give the group the option to Venmo me some money or change it to a potluck. Never mind, I will be canceling it. I'll get off Reddit. So last response. NTA. It's weird to me that she questioned it being a girls' night. That seems self-explanatory, and sometimes you don't want to do couples things. Maybe you were blunt in how you handled it. I'm not sure. But she was way ruder to not acknowledge what you're saying and calling you names. My husband's best friend eats a ton and would totally clear us out at potlucks, while not bringing anything to contribute. So I told my husband to either talk to him about manners or stop inviting him. People like this are super rude, expecting everyone else to accommodate them. Also, firefighters should know how to cook since they spend time at firehouses. Dudes should be bringing a giant dish to share. NTA. 1. People saying you should have just lied. You shouldn't have had to. 2. When you say he eats a lot and it adds to the cost and things are tight. The right response of a decent person is, OMG. I didn't even think about it. How about we all chip in or bring something to help? It's not to get indignant and try and cause trouble within the group. You did nothing wrong arranging a smaller party to manage costs. Your friend just sounds entitled and ridiculous. Info. If one of the guests is eating more than you consider affordable, why didn't you dish up the meal? Or at least, more expensive portions thereof, onto the plates before it gets to the dinner table, rather than serving everything family style? That could have allowed you to ensure everyone has a fair share and no one went without. I absolutely believe you. My husband has 3 nephews who act like they've never been fed at every family gathering. They shove their way in front of everyone once the food is all out. And after they have gone through, it looks like a swarm of locusts has decimated every dish. After a few of those incidents, I quietly went around to the moms with small kids, letting them know the food was ready so that they could make plates for their little ones first. Then I would go to the older people and let them know to go get their food. This worked really well and ensured that everyone had a fair shot of getting a little bit of everything. Every once in a while, the boys would realize that people were getting in line, and I would stop them and let them know that we were going in groups and that their turn was coming up soon, and I would let them know. These were not young kids either, and far too old to not be aware of how selfish, gluttonous their behavior was. It might have been rude to say why the firefighter wasn't invited, as she could have just stuck with the girls' night reasoning, or just turned it into a potluck like others have suggested. If your friend and her husband don't bring much to the potluck, then you could always pull the ladies first card and he can go last and have whatever's left over. NTA. It only takes one to ruin it for others. If your other friends have noticed that he does that and no one has stepped up until you finally said something, then it's best you just cancel. No reason to go through your money if no one backs you up or offers to help remedy the situation. Your friend is the a-hole though. She knows her husband eats a lot. per his own admission, but yet does nothing to help even it out for others. Get rid of that extra wheat. No pun intended. NTA and your friends are the assholes. They know you're tight on money but still want to host a dinner yet don't offer any money. Fuck them. Yes. Your answer came off as insensitive, but real friends are allowed to tell the truth without getting butthurt. Why would she question a girl's night, when she is the only one that is married? My husband can be a huge eater, but he takes his first serving and then waits until everyone else has their fill and will then polish off whatever is left. I think a lot of people are missing the point. Sounds like you are making a normal amount of food, but he sounds like a rude guest. NTA. You could have given a different reason like, I just want it to be us, but your friend pressuring you into overextending yourself even after you communicated the financial strain. You were nice enough to invite them and host them regularly. She's also the only one with a man, so I don't think a girls' night is a ridiculous idea. Stand your ground. She's being immature. Is he the only husband there? Nothing more painful than the Klingon husband who tags along on the wife's friends' nights. I think your friend was a dick for turning around and telling everyone something that was probably hard to disclose. To everyone, saying you shouldn't host if you can't afford that is just silly. Op has a life and is trying to make the most out of it. They can afford it by not inviting someone who eats so much she has to make double. Come on. Life is tough for so many people these days. Should everyone just hide inside and not try to do anything that makes their lives just a little better? Sounds like it is time for someone else to host, or just invite those friends that aren't causing you grief. NTA further. There's nothing wrong with wanting a girls' night. Anyway. Info. I run out of food. Why is this a problem? Though, everyone gets their plate when their food is done. That's it. He eats what he's served. Is he demanding a second serving? Or something? NTA. Op says he eats 3 servings of stuff. That's rude-ass behavior. I wouldn't invite him over either. She's the only one that's married and he has to come too? Maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm not a stage 5 clinger to my husband I've been with almost 20 years. But I think it's weird he has to come. And she's mad about a girls' night. Shit, my girlfriends and I are all married, we have a couple dinner nights a year. We don't bring our husbands. When I was the only one married, I didn't bring my husband to everything. He's a firefighter. I'm assuming he's gone for X amount of time. Off for X amount of time. Schedule it then. Also, Jagoff, you're from Pittsburgh, aren't you? Tell her he can't come to your house. NTA. What kind of friends don't offer to pitch in money or bring a dish themselves? Or offer to host in exchange like a rotating cycle? Also, what's wrong with it being just girls? He can survive a night by himself. Still have the dinner with the ones that want to contribute and not mooch. NTA. He sounds rude as hell. What really tips it for me is also the reactions. You gave the truth, perhaps bluntly, but also, the reality, so I get it. And people don't like the compromise options of split the bill or turn it into a potluck. Why are you expected to foot the bill in this situation? Why have you continually footed the bill? For perspective, I am one of 2 people who often host in my main group of friends. When I was younger and less financially stable, we were more likely to do potluck style overall and BYOB. Now we still lean towards BYOB on occasion. But I've made it clear to my friends that I will cover most things at my house unless otherwise stated, including alcohol. Some still have their own preferences, so they bring what they want and it gets left here if they don't finish it. My friends still never show up empty-handed generally. They offer to bring an appetizer or a dessert, or even just bring a hostess gift. The only exception tends to be the other person who tends to also host because it's a bit of an unspoken agreement between the two of us in terms of how we have alternated hosting over the years. Change it to a potluck. NTA. You offered an event. Someone else said you weren't doing enough. Since when do guests get to tell a host they have to invite all the guests' family and friends? Telling a host they're a jag-off is out of line. That's when people get disinvited. Look, if I host an event, I typically choose the food and the guest list. My reasons for choosing are my own. You shouldn't have to invite someone because a guest wants to bring a friend, spouse. NTA. Just posting because I see a lot of people asking the same thing. Op commented the man eats 23 servings of the food being provided. Not just what he is given initially. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.